Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server. We are over in the Dangland. Some of you may not know what the Dangland is. I imagine most of you do. Let's hop down from this helicopter and let's talk about the Dangland, because this is the amazing theme park that Doc and Ethos have been working on for quite some time now. And this place is awesome, and today we are going to be contributing a mini-game to this place, which is exciting. I've got a basic idea which I want to develop with you guys into a proper mini-game, and that is our objective for this episode. Now, I want to give you a quick tour of this place. There is a game over here. I'm actually not too sure what this one actually is, but over on this side we've got the PvP arena, we got the whack-a-mole game, over there is Connect 4. Then we have two other games here as well. This is the fishing game. I'm not sure what the actual names for these ones are, but that one we played in a video with Doc, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun indeed. And then over here we got the boat racing one, which we did with Ethos, Doc and Python in an episode as well. So what I would like to do is build a game. I found a non-intrusive place, but I do want to do a little bit of path building just around this thing right here. So this path I would like to extend off in this direction, around the corner, and I also wanted to develop this a little bit, just make it look a little less floaty, put in some support beams and all of that kind of stuff, and then our path is going to go through here and it will go across the river. So there will be a small bridge that we build. Then over on the side here I noticed that the river could almost stretch through, so I'm probably going to do some terraforming and connect the two of those up. I am actually not surprised that we just got teleported back. My internet has been very janky today, it has been awful, so hopefully that doesn't slow us down too much, and at the moment it feels like it's saying no, you shall not pass this river. So yeah, some terraforming is in order to connect this up through here, and then through this area we're going to have a bridge and a path come up over to here. Now I like this spot because it's just away from the main area of the Dangland, but it gives us an opportunity to also connect this path that we're building up to the Brown District, which is right there. You can see Scar's amazing beautiful giant tree and the back of Derp, which is run by Tango and Impulse. And I noticed that there's a little bit of land here and we sort of flattened it out a little bit. This is the spot where we're going to build our game. Our game might actually go underground a fair bit, but somewhere around here is the spot that I want to build it, and then the path that we've got can also go up the hill here and connect with Brown District as well. So it's always cool to connect things together on this server, make it feel more sort of finished and realised. So yeah, I don't know where we're going to start. We'll probably start with contacting Doc and Ethos, making sure it's okay to modify this stuff, and then start working on the beginnings of the path. So 45 minutes have passed by and I don't have too much to show you. My internet is so ropey. I am getting disconnected, teleported back constantly. It is pretty awful, and what's worse is that when I get disconnected I have to restart my entire Minecraft client in order to log back in. And why have those blocks disappeared? Ah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Sometimes, though, the weirdest thing is sometimes I jump and it goes into elytra flight mode, and I can just sort of like worm my belly across the ground while I'm flying. It's so weird. I'll have to record that. But anyway, the path comes down the side here as planned, and then we've got to have a bridge. And what I realised is that boats will want to go underneath here. It's right next to Python's boat town, and the idea is that these rivers are going to have, you know, boats going through them for other players. I know we don't really use that as a form of transport much, but I think it's kind of important just to keep those things in mind. If you are going around in a boat, you don't really want to be getting out halfway because there's some sort of bridge in your way. So this should be high enough, and it means the pathway goes right below this bit here, which isn't particularly impressive, but I'm going to try and make it work. And the main problem is lighting. Look at how dark it is in the middle. Well, disconnected again. What did I say? So, admittedly, this is probably a little bit too far over to this side, and here you go. I got disconnected about 5 or 6 times trying to build this. Ridiculousness, is it not? I think the only other thing I might want to tweak is perhaps having a slab right there. Not really sure if that works, but I love the way this sort of just gives a little bit of a 3D effect, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's pretty plain, but it needs some lighting. I'm not sure how to do it. I think some end rods might work, just coming on top of these slabs. They're actually a really great light source, so let's give that a try. And then I got some terraforming to do over here as well. And I do want to put in some more support beams. We put some in over here, and I was thinking it would be nice to have a little bit of structure And we got some walls here. Maybe put some glass on either side, and then there could be something in the middle. I don't know what. I just thought that would look, kind of cool. Well, apparently this is a thing. This guy can't come into this too high gap, which is kind of bizarre. If I move left to right, you can see he's getting stuck over there. Anyway, just added some end rods, spaced these out real nice. They actually, light this up very well, but they are a little bit contrasty being so white. But I love the particle effects of them. I always think they look great. And yeah, that works just fine for me. Where did the guy with the sword go? I don't know. Anyway, this goes out here, then it comes up to the side, and the idea is that the path is just going to lead to the front of our game, which is going to be on my left. Let's take care of this guy. And fighting these mobs can be a little bit tricky when the server's so laggy. You see the arrow bounce off of him then? Yeah, that happens. Yeah, so this path is probably going to go straight across over here, and then do like a right angle turn, go over there somewhere. Or maybe actually I might have it go down the other side, so it could go straight across here and then up. I just don't know. But over here is where we're building the game, and that's what that looks like. Yeah, let's get prepared to start building it. And another thing I wanted to show you are these support beams. They've been nicely spaced out. We've had quite a few added, and they make a real big difference. Just when you look across it, it makes so much more sense to see these like holding everything up. And now that I look at it, these ones are sort of buried a little bit. Maybe I'll pull them out a couple of blocks. So, fingers crossed that we don't get disconnected for the millionth time today. It has been ludicrous. I'm not even joking. It has been awful. And over here, by the way, you would have seen it, the bridge came down when I recorded a while back, and then it just went straight across, so I didn't really mention that. Should be kind of obvious. We're going around the corner and then we're going back up again, so I figured we'd just have it come straight across like that. And this leads up to where the arena is going to be. No idea how the entrances are going to work, but this walkway is going to go alongside it, and the arena itself is going to be 33 blocks in that direction, 25 in this one, and that's going to be where the game is played inside that area. Now, this game idea is based on a tweet that was sent to me quite some time ago. The idea has been playing around in my mind, and I didn't take note of who tweeted me, so I apologise, but thank you if you were watching. Fantastic idea. We're going to expand on it and turn it into a very fun game. The idea is that you have chickens that drop into the arena and you've got to pick them up with boats. Now, this is currently clay. It's going to be lowered. We're going to sort this out. There's going to be water everywhere. So picture there's a load of water and you're in a boat. The idea is to navigate the game and make your way to the center, and you've got to pick up chickens in your boat and then bring them back over to your side. So it's going to be a versus game. There's going to be, a side at either end. You can play it 1v1 or 2v2, and the idea is to collect chickens into your area. It's happening again. Oh, did you see it? Sometimes it does that. I sort of just start floating as if I'm flying. So the server is probably going to, kick me in a moment, which isn't any good. So, welcome to the arena. We need to get up high to see this thing. And I'm going to say it straight away, I feel like this may be a little bit compact and could probably be a little bit bigger overall, but I reckon either way it will work. So, this area here, that area here, are the areas where the players will bring back the boats and, put them once they've got a chicken in the boat. And then they leave the chicken in the boat there and it counts as a point. Now, the ways out of this area into the main area in the middle are through where these lapis blocks are. Basically, everything that isn't yellow isn't a wall, but those lapis blocks are going to be like little blockers that will occasionally pop up and down just to slow the players down, add some obstacles, and they're going to be able to exit like this on this side, same thing on the other because it's mirrored. Of course, it's mirrored this way as well. And when they come into this area, which is the main bit in the middle, there are 3 of these which will also just sort of pop up at random. Now, the chickens themselves are going to drop in on that side there, and this side over there. So when you're in this middle area, you can look over and see if there is a chicken, and then you can sort of swim by, but the other players will of course be there as well. So that is the layout. I think it's going to work okay. It is a little bit plain and it's very symmetrical. Next time I end up doing something like this, I should aim to do something that isn't symmetrical, which is much more of a challenge and of course more interesting. But down here at this level, the yellow clay you're never going to be able to see. All of this is going to be blue, and this is part of the aesthetics of this build. So below the water, which will be at this height, we're going to have blue going around like this. We'll have our lapis blocks pushing up and down, and then it's dark prismarine that's going to go across the top like this. and it will also be submerged in water. I did actually want to make the entire walls out of this stuff, but it's very expensive. I don't have a lot of it. We've got just about enough to do this bottom area here. And then the walls themselves will be built out of stone, andesite and cobblestone around the sides, so a little bit of variation. And then the walls in the middle will be significantly different. So let's get those walls around the outside built up. Let's get all of this in the middle here done as well. Well, we are getting close to being done with this wall here, just a few more blocks to place. And what we're going to focus on next is the walls in the middle. I think that might be it. Nope. 2 more little gaps to go, so there we go, nice randomized wall down here. By the way, the ceiling's going to be made out of glass, and it's going to be at this height right here, so things are going to feel a little bit claustrophobic in this game, which we're going to say is... Man, this guy's moving, like, to the side really fast there. We're going to say it's sort of like a design feature. We want this game to feel a little bit sort of hemmed in and claustrophobic. Do you know what? Ah, I know what mistake I've made. You see, we're going to have... Oh yes, this might not actually be dark prismarine. I'm sort of remembering my plans a little bit. We're going to have walls that are made out of the 2 colours for the different teams. So one colour is going to be red, and the other colour is going to be yellow over on this side. Can you guess why I've chose those 2 colours? Because... apart from white, they are the other 2 colours that appear on a chicken, as well as black actually as well. So you can be yellow or red in this game. Now I want to make it so that when you're swimming around you can also see into the other areas. And because we're going to have glass at that height right there, it means that our best opportunity to have, let's say, a window into a different area is this height right here, and I think that looks a little bit ugly and was why I wasn't actually going to have dark prismarine down here. I've now successfully remembered it was going to be something like that. However, this isn't going to be a place where there's a window because you'd be able to see directly to where the chickens are. And we got another visitor. I had a creeper visiting just a moment ago. They are slightly annoying as they can blow everything up. So the places where you are going to be able to see, I think, would be right here, and I've actually gone and filled in the bit that I want you to see through, which is great. Now you can see straight down to this open area where the other team are playing, so I think that's pretty cool. And I reckon right here as well would be another good place to have just a little window, maybe a little bit bigger than that, but a way to see if there's a chicken in that place as you come out of your area. So this bit right here will be filled up, won't be able to see through there. And would that work for the other side as well? Let's just think about it. They're going to have that sort of setup going on. So as you come out here, do you need a window at this point? Probably not. You sort of got a window into the area there. You can see right down to the back of the opponent's team. And then we come into this area, which is very open, and I've just noticed I've put a wall on that side which isn't on the other side. That will actually be dark prismarine though, because it's sort of neutral, and maybe these ones will be as well. So let's grab our dark prismarine. Now if we put like a blockade here, is there any reason at all to have windows in them? I don't really think so. I feel like actually, I thought like there was going to be a lot of windows and we've just ended up with one here and one there, right? So maybe we should have one here as well. I don't know, I really don't. So despite being a little bit garish, this is what we are going for. Man, these red and yellow colours really don't blend in too well to the other blocks that we've picked. That's alright, we got them now. And what I've decided to do is just add in a few more of these as pillars around the place. And the only place that we actually have windows is here, so you can see all through this area, and a window to see into your own area where the chickens land here. It isn't necessarily Yellow's place to pick it up from, but you get the privilege of like looking in there and seeing. Privilege. Not the right word to use, but yeah, you know what I mean. And also there was a wall like here. I built it on one side but not the other. It sort of blocks off the view and just makes it so there's no open areas really. So I decided to remove that completely. So that's going to be how like all of this works. And I guess the next step is to put in the water. Do you know what? I've only got a single bucket and it's empty. So let's go grab the water. Let's also put some glass on the top as well. Well, it's a bit late for changes now. I just walked over and thought, I wish I'd done that with black glass. I think it being darker would look a little bit better. But there are some sort of hangovers here from some decisions that I made that I didn't think were too good. So in order for the player to sort of start over again once they've dropped off a boat, I think there should be a little bit of a penalty. And that is to climb out of here manually, walk over the back. We're going to have an extra area back here, sort of drop in and go through again. Maybe I'll try and add in some sort of delay. So I sort of pictured the player coming out like this, hopping up onto this bit, and then walking off around here. And I've realised that that Doesn't need to be like that for that to be so. And maybe it would actually be better just to fill this in so it looks nice and clean and double up the amount of ladders that we have down the bottom here. That looks absolutely fine to me. No real big difference. So you hop over there, turn around, and then there's going to be like a way back into the game back here. Okay, we should take a break for a while. Something that I wanted to show you is this path over here that False has been working on. The White District is getting expanded, and it now sort of goes round into brown, and that leads all the way to the central hub. Let's go up. There we go. And yeah, things are looking cool. And over here as well, we have got so much stuff that I've been showing in the live streams and not really talking about in the videos. First of all, Scar's Courthouse. Looking amazing. Look at that entrance there. Cyan clay and quartz. Looking absolutely lovely. Going to be a special build here on the server. Of course, it's our courthouse. And over in this direction, Zul'jin has his building, which gets nicer and nicer every time I look at it. And they're just two things I wanted to point out to you. And also in a live stream, we actually came over here and finished up the map. So if you remember, we did this in our previous episodes, the map project. After I was done mapping out the area, we were sort of like missing a few bits up in this corner and that corner, and we went around and got those. Unfortunately though, we lost our buddy Indiana Bones on the journey, who got creepered. It was quite unfortunate, but sometimes that's just how things go in this game. So we are back at the zombie pigman farm. Wanted to come over here and show you something else that's been done while we're on our little break from the project. And if you're wondering why I have 518 levels of XP, maybe you haven't seen the last couple of episodes, it's because of this amazing farm. And we have made some modifications to it. We've had some trouble with mobs spawning, and they have been spawning on these blocks right here. And that is because mobs can spawn on slime blocks. And we did have trapdoors there. They didn't block the spawning, and so we've gone for this. Basically, the pistons are extended, and then there's probably like a brief moment where the pigmen will be able to spawn when they retract. But the idea here is that they retract right before the slime blocks go up, which we'll see. There you go. And then it's all good. So the timing for that comes from down below on our main timing circuit, comes up the side here. And also, listen carefully, when it activates... Did you hear the sound of arrows there? It was probably quite faint. Let's go up like this, because what I do when I'm up the top is I look down and I shoot at all the pigmen that are caught around this area, like that guy over there, and some of the arrows land on the repeaters, and when they do that, they don't despawn, and then when the repeaters activate, they get activated again. So, bam, there you go. So they'll never despawn, and I think what we want to do is actually just replace that. Oh, it might be that the arrow is still in the repeater and gets refreshed. Ah, it didn't move that time, so I'm going to guess after a while it will actually despawn, which is all cool. And I do believe that's actually sort of everything here done in the farm. Next time that we choose to work on this project, what we'll be doing is creating the item elevators that bring all of the gold up to the top, and then we'll be working on the area at the top and aesthetics and stuff like that. So as of right now, it would appear that all of the redstoning stuff is finished. So speaking of redstone, this may be all of the redstone that this project needs, believe it or not. And isn't there supposed to be a lever on here? There it is. So a lever to turn this thing on and off, and what it's going to do is activate one dispenser than the other. Now because the eggs that we're going to put in here have only a certain chance of creating a chicken, this is probably going to run a lot faster than what you're seeing. But it'll activate one side, then the other, then back, then the other, and that's it, just a switch to start the game, and it's all pretty good, right? Now I've been thinking that this has ended up looking pretty ugly, so we'll probably build some sort of gazebo on top of this. But that's kind of it. The next thing really to do is to gather up some chickens, some eggs, and then build a little chicken farm somewhere, because of course we're going to need to keep lots and lots of eggs over time. So we are just finishing up connecting a path all the way down to the area down the bottom. I like this project, I like it a lot, and I think that needs to be a little bit thicker. The path leading up to this place is definitely thick, and we can certainly do that. Scar's in the area working on his lovely, lovely treehouse over here, and I call it a treehouse, it's going to be a shop. Yeah, look at that, that's lovely, awesome. So this leads around the corner of Derp, and there's going to be a path right down the side here, and it goes down the corner. You can see I've sort of done some work on it, and there's some glitchy blocks here stopping me from walking down, and again, that's always a pain. And yeah, haven't really done much else but this, but I just wanted to make a start on it, show you where the path goes, and then when we come back, I want it to be all finished and looking nice and fancy. Oh my days, look at my armour right here. Those leggings have taken a right old beating. And some of these other ones, hardly at all. Why the leggings? Perhaps it's got something to do with the fawns. Actually, that makes so much sense. It's definitely the fawns. And check it out. Look at that, a giant chicken sitting up on the hilltop. This wasn't actually my original plan. It was just to have a chicken's head there. But I couldn't really come up with anything that looked terribly decent. I felt like the chicken head alone, that's like a to-scale model there, wasn't very big. So decided to go a little bit bigger and build a full-on chicken. Which I'm now starting to think maybe that was too much because you can't really see what else is going on around there. So let's walk up. As I said, I was going to do like the details on this place. So we got the base of the chicken right here, and behind it what I've done is I've started this sort of rocky formation and just led it down and across around the back here, and we got some supports there going around to hold up the pathway, and then some other ones here that which are a little bit bigger, and it just gives it some variation. It looks seriously cool. Down the bottom as well we've got this sort of holding up the sediment, I think is what it's called, where you have the different layers of clay, and that looks really awesome. And now the whole thing has sort of been connected together. Now my idea for this chicken head is obviously it represents like the game to some extent because it involves catching chickens, and let's put a couple of torches right there so that's nicely lit up. Don't want mobs spawning on it. Hey, what we could do is cover it in carpets because that'll block the mob spawning. Excellent. When I get some more wool because I've exhausted my supply, we will do just that. And by the way, look at what Scar has been doing around here. The server was very busy when I was on playing yesterday doing that, and Scar was right next to me working on this path. Hello, we got a new friend who's coming to give us a hug. And yeah, it looks absolutely gorgeous. All of this just lush, overgrown feel here. Excellent. And then we sort of merge into it over on this side as well. So, and from down here you can see Scar's little mini trees looking absolutely lovely. And there is a waterfall here. So what we did is connected it up to the river over there, because before it just sort of came down into nothing. And I tell you what, that makes so much sense to connect it up like that. It looks really, really cool. Anyway, what we're going to check out now are some clips of me, Ren, and Scar hanging out from yesterday when I was working on all of this.
Stream says hello. Also, they ask, what are you doing with that arrow? They're confused.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me try this.
Ooh.
Do you like? Does it make any sense?
Can we get some stuff out? There we go.
You're
awesome.
Like getting,
okay, I'm back.
You're getting a little bit of air time there, right?
Yes.
Can you actually take off like that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Oh, that was close, dude. You almost took off there.
Right, here's what you got to do. Look directly up.
Yeah.
Right, then pull the mouse down a tiny bit so you're not straight up. And then shoot, and then as it comes down, jump.
I launched once. Like, I launched, like...
Oh, wow.
Oh, there it goes.
You're doing really good there, dude. You are launching yourself something fierce, man.
Whoa! Hey!
Oh,
You went very far then.
Oh, almost got some airtime from that, too.
Oh, I just bumped into the Wells's base.
I'm wondering if moving right as it lands might help.
There we go. Look, I did it.
Oh, you did?
I took off from the ground. I took off from the ground, everyone.
I can see you off in the distance.
That is insane. That was sheer luck. That was 100% sheer luck. I don't know how to replicate it. I literally shot an arrow straight after the first one hit me in the face when it came down.
That was awesome.
I think maybe you need to be flying right as it hits you, so... Oh man, that's crazy timing.
Oh, I can't believe I did that, man.
That makes sense. Oh, there you go, like that.
Did you do it?
Yeah, just totally took off.
Check it out, you did it.
So I double tap space right as it comes
insane.
down. Yeah, right as it comes down, double tap space.
You can actually launch from a standing position.
There we go again, there we go. Huh.
Oh, X, with some practice, you're going to get that really consistent. That's pretty crazy, man. Awesome. So listen, X, Good Times with Scar and I have been in negotiations, my friend.
Yes, I've been hearing.
Yeah, I wanted to pull you in. So, we have been talking about Scar's like excess materials from his leaf shop is loggage.
Yeah.
Which is great for us because it means we can purchase wholesale, baby. And we've been thinking about, trying to figure out what a good rate would be. And my offer was 2 logs for a diamond.
Okay.
2 logs, 2 stacks.
Yeah, 2 stacks for a diamond.
Yeah, which would give us 100%
I like the 2
profit.
logs. I like that. I could go in on that.
That sounds like a great deal to me. That's fair.
Which give us 100% profit, right?
Yeah, because then we go and sell them in our shop. We got the brand reputation here. You see, Scar. When you're dealing with the log fellas, people are going to be buying them from us. That means we're going to be buying them from you, right?
Yeah,
that's right. And people understand a log from a log fella is the highest quality log there is.
Exactly. They're not outsourced at all, are they, Ren?
They are organic.
They are not outsourced.
Organic, important.
Yeah, they are exotic. Is that a good marketing word? I don't know.
Jungle.
Are they gluten free?
Jungle ones, maybe.
Yep.
They're gluten free.
Yeah, they're gluten free. Yeah, vegan friendly.
Awesome. We got all the package labels on these.
Yep. All right, Scott. I tell you what. Okay, I can hear that you're still a little bit reluctant. Let me sweeten the deal for you here. Okay, X. Let's sweeten the package a bit.
Okay.
Wait, that didn't sound very good, but you know what I'm saying. We shall create an automatic delivery system for the logs that'll just take them straight out of your base and deliver them underground to the lumberjack shop.
That sounds amazing.
Like this.
Are you thinking some hoppers or maybe some
we could do hoppers, we could do a minecart thingy.
Oh, minecart. That sounds like the best, the friendliest for the server.
With an autoloader, X, like an autoloader on this side and an auto unloader on the other side.
That'd be a great project. Yeah.
Sweet.
That sounds awesome.
So that means, Scar, 0 work for you other than restocking your leaf shop and just profit. Just diamonds, baby.
I'll tell you what, I love this boat launcher. It is amazing and it is so convenient to get to our project over here. I really enjoy this flight because we go right past the tree and you can see how absolutely enormous and magnificent it is. And we're going to head over here to where the chicken is and we are going to install some hoppers and chests to collect the eggs because in here is where we're going to be farming each of the chickens. Now there might be some mobs inside of here because I didn't put down any lights. And there's probably not going to be a lot of room as well. But what I've been thinking is we might be able to perhaps have the chickens in there and bring the items down somewhere else. But I'm not sure. I think we might be able to remove those blocks. No. You see, that's all the space that we've got to work with, basically. So we can put this many chests and hoppers, but we're probably not going to put anywhere near that many. We can have 2 like that and a hopper pointing into it. And then I guess another 2. Right, and then, I'm doing this just anywhere at the moment. And then a hopper there, but that's where the chickens will have to go. So what we'll probably do is have maybe 4 of these and just have them all sort of separate from one another, if that makes sense. Well, that is just my luck. With 3 eggs to spare, I've managed to get 1 in each 4 of these. We've got cauldrons. That guy's actually not in the cauldron, so I'm going to have to nudge him in. There you go, and when a chicken, not an egg, is in a cauldron, they'll be able to lay eggs. The hoppers down below will be able to pick it up, but they won't escape. So technically we don't need to do this, and I do believe when they're growing to adults they'll still be fine. Obviously I'll come back and check on that. But yeah, they can't escape, they won't try to leave. And that guy is also not in the cauldron, so let's nudge him in. There you go, now we'll be trapped in there forever. And that's how we're going to farm the eggs. So we're starting off with 4, and once I've got some more eggs I'll probably put a couple more in each of these. Oh, did you hear that? The guy was fine in there. I know because I heard a chicken taking damage. And I removed this, I saw him taking damage. And then I put it back and he was fine. I think they try and jump out of the cauldron. Maybe that's the thing from 1.8 and it doesn't work in 1.9. But now they're all gone. So, 1 left. Excellent. Let's put some glass on it. No, hey, okay. I don't know if he was properly in the cauldron, but you saw there he tried to escape. I think we're going to have to do this with some glass on top. So, one last thing to talk about in this episode is a new shop which we are going to be setting up. Now, of course, we will still continue to work on our game. Not going to abandon that. We'll play that soon. In fact, it's pretty close to being ready to play. Just need a lot of eggs. But anyway, let's talk about this shop. We have loads of gold from our pigman farm in the Nether, and that's what we're going to sell here on the server for a while before we open that farm up to the public. So I wanted to create a shop, and I was looking around for space, and we are really running out in the Brown District. This place is just full of amazing builds, but I was looking in this area, and I realised that the way that the paths have been laid out sort of go right through the middle of a good spot, and everything else like in between and around it is a little bit smaller. So this is probably where we're going to build our gold shop, and then what we'll do is we'll put this path going off to the side. It can connect with this one, it can go around this corner of the building through to here, or maybe we could have a pathway through our building as well. That's something that I could keep in mind. But yeah, that's all going to be something we're doing in one of the future episodes. It won't be too long before we work on it. And also this board right here is going to have to get moved, and I've been thinking of moving it inside of this building, and perhaps also passing this building over to Cubfan as well, who's really like doing lots of stuff with the banners, and my banner project hasn't really gone further than this and the few banners up top. But maybe in here we could also repurpose this area to have the message board like we've got on the outside. Anyway, if we go down below, this has been expanded by False as well. As you can see when we go down here, there is now another floor to this building, and it is the tunnel that connects up to the path to the White District, which I showed you earlier. And actually, since I was last here, a lot has been done, and this place is looking extremely cool. Anyway, that is going to be it from me at this episode of Hermitcraft. Do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like on the video. As always, thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.